All right, continuing on from video A. Sorry about that. I thought I was going to have enough time. We were at 57. We had 56, 55, 55, 57. So now we have plus 63, plus 64, plus 64, plus 72, and it all equals, and that's a little bit off. So let's just go through, we'll add it one more time. We've got 11 plus 11 plus 11 plus 12 plus 13 plus 17 plus 19. And then we have 20 plus 23 plus 26 plus 26 plus 38 plus 38 plus 39 plus 39 plus 39 plus 39 plus 39 plus 40 plus 52 plus 52 plus 54 plus 55 plus 55 plus 55 plus 56 plus 57 plus 63 plus 64 plus 64, and where are we getting off? Oh, minus 644 plus 64, and then we've got plus, we had 1, 2 64s and plus a total. And somehow we keep getting off. I will tell you that it totals 1,188. So hopefully you're having a little bit better luck than I am in getting that to add up on the calculator. So looking at it, it's 1188. We know that there's 30 pieces of data. So dividing it by 30, I get a total of 39.6. So the mean is 39.6. And if we refer back to the last lesson, I would ask you, is this data skew? And I would hope you would say, yes, it is skew because the mean and the median are different values. All right, please press pause. Go ahead and solve for these questions and press play when you're ready and we'll come back. All right, it says find the range of the upper and lower quartiles for the stem and leaf plot. So basically we need to take a look at it and find out what is the upper quartile, what is the lower quartile. So we remember that quartiles are all about the medians. So I'm going to go ahead and erase some of this stuff. We don't need it for this question. But we do want to remember the mean, or the median, I apologize. And the median was 39, and it fell, there were 30 bits of data, so it was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. The median fell right here. So here's the lower values to the left, the higher values to the right. And if we count, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 bits of data. So if I take 15 and divide it by 2, I get 7.5, which means that the 8th number is quartile 1. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 23, I've got quartile 2 is 39, and I now have that quartile 1 is 23. Now, going this way, there should also be 15 numbers, so let's count them real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So again, the 8th number to the right of the median is going to also be the median of the upper values, which is quartile 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 55 is quartile 3. Remembering that the inner quartile range is Q1 and Q3 subtracted from one another. So right now it just wants us to find the upper and lower quartiles. So we're just going to find that quartile 1 is 23, quartile 3 is 55. Okay, for example 4, now we're looking at what is called a box and whisker plot. And it said he found another graph that showed the data before. So if you'll kind of refer back to our previous data, quartile 2 is right there in the middle, and it's 39. And what am I comparing it to? I'm going back to example 3. If you'll remember right, on that stem and leaf plot, the median was 39. And then we just calculated the upper and lower quartiles. So here 23 is quartile 1, and quartile 3 is 55. And again, if we look back to our data, we have 23 and 55. So some people enjoy looking at the stem and leaf plot better, some like the box and whisker plot. For this particular example, I think that the box and whisker plot is a little bit easier to read. So now it's asking you to find the interquartile range, which remember is Q3 minus Q1. So I'm looking at 55 minus 23, which gives me 32 for my interquartile range. So it said, based on the box and whisker plot from example 4, what percent of the gas stations had 55 or fewer price changes? So go ahead and take a look at this. Press pause for a second. When you have your answer, press play, and we'll see how you did. All right, so let's look at this here. It said how many had 55 or fewer? So here's 55. And remember I said before on the previous lesson that there will be an easier way to identify that interquartile or that 25% of the data. Well, a box and whisker plot shows it very well. It's saying between 11 and 23 is 25% of your data. Between 23 and 39 is 25% of your data. Between 39 and 55 is 25% of your data. And I kind of covered that up, so let me. And then between 55 and 72 is 25% of your data. So it's asking about 55 or fewer. So 25 plus 25 plus 25 means that in this case, 75% of the gas stations had 55 or fewer gas changes. All right, example 5, it says the following box and whisker plot gives you the purchase price of 114 cars that seniors have at West Point High School. Are any of these outliers? So we've got to first identify our quartiles. So step 1 is identify the quartiles. Now I know that the median is that middle part of the box. So quartile 2, and I'll write it over here, we've got quartile 1, 2, and 3 are all we're going to need for this. And I know that quartile 2 is 7,000. Quartile 1 is the front part of that box, and it's identified at 5,200. Quartile 3 is the upper part of the box, so it's at 9,100. So once we've identified the quartiles, the next thing that we need to do is identify or find, I'll just put find, the interquartile range, which remember is Q3 minus Q1. So in this case, I know that Q3 is 9,100 and Q1 is 5,200. And when I subtract the difference of those, I get 3,900 is my interquartile range. Okay, third step. You're going to multiply the interquartile range by 1.5. So you're going to take the 3,900 and you are going to multiply that by 1.5. So when we get that, let's go ahead and go to our calculator. and we've got 3,900 times 1.5. And that gives us a value of 5850. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to subtract the 5850 from quartile 1 and add 5850 to quartile 3. So 5,200 minus 5850 actually gives me a negative 650. 9,100 plus the 5850 gives me 14,950. So how this relates is now anything lower than negative 650 or higher than 14,950 is what we would call an outlier. So in this case, we know that there are no lower outliers. Number one, because the lowest value is 3,000, but also because a car can't be a negative value. But on the upper end, looking at this, about 14,950 is here. Anything that is to the right of that value is an outlier. So in this case, 43,000 is an outlier. Now I know that that looks very obvious, but to some people, if you look at it, 14,800 is not an outlier, but 15,000 would be an outlier. So that one's not as easy to identify. And that will be it for this lesson today. Good job.